pleasure. So we are live. Make sure share it to your Facebook, please. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Yeah, if you can share, it's on my Facebook page. My page is public. So if you
So
can
how do I share it?
just like if you go to my profile, you will see you should see that
Can you
I am
tag me
live.
in it?
Let me do that. I
Yeah.
certainly can. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is day I lost count of the 30 days of I Owe Me challenge. Yes, I lost count. I don't know, maybe day 20, something like that. We are winding down, but baby, it's feeling good. Woo! Okay, let's get in here on this. The Book of Face. Let me see. Hazel, I shouldn't
I
have too
got
many
it.
Hazels. You got it?
I found you.
Okay, cool. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited and honored for any and everybody that is here. Come on in. And I'm trying to center myself. My OCD be acting up now. If I'm not centered.
Listen, I keep trying. I'm like, okay, if I pull it down, can you not see the white? Because I really want my. Okay,
I
let me
couldn't
see.
see that until just now. So yeah, I see the blingage coming on. Okay.
The sleeves and the hat. Quit playing
Wonder Woman, the Black Wonder Woman.
with me.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello, hello, hello again. Welcome. You know what this is. This is 30 Days of I Owe Me, where we are empowering and inspiring you to live your best life in three key areas: health, wealth, and relationships. We are, hey, Maria Wheeler, I can always count on you, girl. Hey, girl.
Her last name is Wheeler.
It is.
Oh, that's my family's name. You might be related, girl. Okay,
Oh,
come
girl.
through.
I was married to a Wheeler.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
really? Oh my goodness. Yes, that's my mom's dad's family, the
Wow.
Wheelers. Yeah.
Okay. They're not in Bakersfield, are they?
There is a no, that's the basis. No, most of the Wheelers are on this side, on the East Coast and South. So up north and south.
Pennsylvania?
That I don't know. But I
Okay.
do know Ocala, Florida. I do know Daytona Beach, Florida. I do know Connecticut up that way.
Maria, aren't you in Connecticut? I think she's somewhere north. Where you at, girl?
Okay.
Maria? That is my homegirl. I haven't seen Maria in forever, but she's up there somewhere, I
Okay.
believe. If I
Okay,
recall,
Marie.
see on Facebook. I love the interaction. I love when we can incorporate the audience, just randomness. She's in Maine. Okay.
Okay. I've never been to Maine.
I
Like that is
haven't
one of the places I want
either.
to go to.
Oh my goodness. Girl, I
It
have to
seems
come
like Maine would
too.
be so chill.
Right. Oh man. I want to talk to you, Maria. I don't know why. I thought she was in Connecticut, but I knew it was northeast. Huh. Maine is a state I've never been to, but I've always been intrigued by it. I
Same
watched
here.
this show, this mini series on, I think, well, a series on Netflix, and I think that lady is in Maine. It's called The Lost Kitchen, and she said it's beautiful in the summertime. You probably get what, 2 months of summer and summer, and then go into
So
winter.
you get she get all the seasons, the real seasons,
Yeah, in a short
the way
period
they
of time.
supposed to come.
Yes,
We get all the seasons in an hour.
you can get it all in one day. It's wintertime when you wake up. By lunch, you get a little spring. 4 o'clock, full blown summer. At night, it's a crapshoot. You might just see winter. You'll definitely get 3 seasons
Man,
in the regular
you
here.
guaranteed to at least get three. Blink of an eye.
Yeah, and right before we went live, I got a National Weather Service alert. I said, I thought it was supposed to be dry and hot. What are you talking about? Like, it's a flash flood warning right now.
Right now?
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said most definitely summers are short. I might have to come see you in the summertime. Eat some lobster. I can't. I don't even know if I can eat lobster. I'm kind of afraid because I have food allergies like crazy. So, ah, Hazel, how are
Yes.
you?
I am well. I'm glowing. I'm happy.
I'm
I'm at
so
peace.
excited.
And
She's
I'm
on
present.
that part. She is here on. So my main platform, as all of you know, the
Blowing
Blowing
bubbles. Oh,
Bubbles
I wish I would have had my
podcast.
bubbles.
I blow bubbles because punching people's wrong.
That part.
Like literally, sometimes I thank God people can't read my thought bubbles because I'm like, but no, it started out from a grieving situation. That's how I started blowing bubbles. And that is a perfect segue tonight. You all, this lady, she decided that she was going to answer the call and be give people hope through grief. She is locked and loaded and specializes in this area. She got a whole bunch of degrees and all the things. And she got the main paper. She got God. Okay,
That's right.
she got that one. So I'm being light because this is a heavy subject, but trust and believe. I needed to talk about, what you do. And there are so many people hurting. Since I have been doing the Blowing Bubbles podcast, I don't know what it is. And it happens to me in real life, even before I had the podcast, people just pour out to me.
Mm-hmm.
People approach me. People feel comfortable and safe just sharing their struggles and their pains with me.
Mm-hmm.
And since I had the podcast, I lost count, but a bunch of mothers of murdered children have reached out to me.
Mm.
And I was sharing with my mother one day. I was like, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. And I appreciate, I do know that my calling is strong in the space of service and helping and power and empowerment, but I'm so very sensitive and respectful of that space. Um, so I really want to dig in. And if you'll notice, and I can't gloss over, the ticker scrolling across the bottom of the screen is the crisis intervention hotline, the suicide prevention hotline, whatever you call it, 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255. If you have any feelings of harming yourself, call somebody, reach out to somebody. There are people who care, there are people who will help you, there are resources, there are places you can go. It's never that bad. That's why there's the semicolon movement. Put a semicolon instead of a period because tomorrow you may feel different. So I want to make sure that I mention that again. I have been mentioning it. I've had it on the challenge every day for the last couple of weeks. Monday will be 2 weeks since my family laid my little cousin to rest. He graduated one day and like 2 days later took his own life. And it's so mind blowing. It's so mind blowing. And there are so many levels of grief. There are so many stages of grief. There's there's so many different emotions that we go through. So when you are operating in your gift, my sister, take us through your process with what does it look like when you begin to counsel someone or work with someone?
So it really looks, and thank you. First of all, let me just say thank you so much for thinking of me and allowing me to be a guest and share what God has given me to share through just my own personal experiences, right? Um,
My
I,
pleasure.
I, I, my experiences allowed me to become sensitive, empathetic, understanding to the the hurts, the pains, the traumas, the grief of people, and the fact that you are able to see the God in me and the work that I do, I truly appreciate that. So
Oh yeah,
thank
for
you very
sure,
much.
for sure.
Um, Now, to answer your question, it looks different for everybody because I don't. This is my personal belief. I don't believe that there is a what is it? There's a mirror for grief. Like it doesn't. You can't mirror somebody else's way of handling it. It looks different. It feels different.
Uh-huh.
Um, I can give you an example. This happened maybe about 2 weeks ago. One of my newly found sister glow star friends, she asked me to be supportive of one of her friends, and again, I don't take that lighthearted, right? It's like
Uh-huh.
you thought enough of me to say, okay, I think you would help, right? Like that's beautiful. And so I just reached out. I asked God. So what I really do, and sorry if I start talking in circles, that's just how I process
Uh-huh.
things to make
I'm
it
with
flow
you.
for me. Um, what I do, not I'm going to say most of the time, 90% of the time, I go to God and ask God to tell me what
Uh-huh.
to do and how to show up.
Yeah.
And in that, I do a lot of listening. I do a lot of validating. I do a lot of reassuring. And then I just be completely upfront, like, listen, you can feel however you want to feel. Nobody could tell you anything different. It's your feelings. You
Yeah.
get to, in one moment, you can smile, and then in the next moment, you can be mad. You could cuss somebody out. You could punch a bag. You can go plant some flowers. You can do it however you want to do it. That's it's for you to do. But you have to. Now, what I do say is that in order to move through the various stages, and sometimes you can be, and even in the stages, I don't know why they call them stages, because stages would mean that you're progressing one level to one level, right?
Right,
And
right. And
that's not
you
the
don't feel
case.
that anymore because you're here now. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, it's not. That's not how it goes. It's not
Right,
really stages. It's more like experiences. There's various experiences that
right.
you can have, right?
Yeah.
So this one particular young lady, um she experienced a lot, and she was like, and I'm not going to share her
Right,
personal
right, right, right.
experience, but basically, um it was surrounded around death, and her not knowing how to show up for herself, because she's a life coach. So she didn't know how to show up for her, but she's able to show up for everyone else. And as soon as
Yes,
I heard that, it was more like, okay, let me reassure you that it's okay, and let me give you an example. I have a whole doctorate in grief counseling, and I need somebody to help me, because Hazel Jay can only get Hazel Jay so far. At
right.
some point, you got to come outside of yourself and go seek some outside support.
Absolutely. That's a great, great point. And that right there, that one little thing is the central focus of this 30-day challenge. I said, I can't do a me on me. I'm out here helping everybody. I'm out here coaching everybody. I'm out here doing all these things. I show up, and how often am I truly showing up for me? And those things are often conscious choices, but I'm not consciously recognizing the lack of self-care. But when you have that helper's heart, having the presence of mind to really reflect on what you need and how do you need to be supported. Sometimes it's hard for us to even be open to help.
And so, if I can add to what you said, this, and this again, this is my belief, right? This is what Hazel believes.
Mhm.
I think that there is a fine line between helping someone out of a healing position and helping someone from a wounded position, if that makes sense. Um,
Okay.
it,
So elaborate on what you mean. I think I have an understanding, but can you break that down though?
so let me see another way. Let me say one a different another way, and then maybe that can help, and then I can break it down. It's like parenting from a healthy perspective or parenting from an unhealthy perspective. You if you're wounded, if you're hurt, if you're in trauma, if you're in pain, and you're trying to help someone, is that really you helping them, or are you doing it from a place of that's my gift, that's my calling, or you're doing it in a place of it's filling a void, it's satisfying something in you? What are
Yes.
you really doing it for? When you're really honestly, and this is again my opinion, when you're doing things from a place of healing, most of the time you're not going to neglect yourself. Most of the time. Most
Mm,
of the time you're not, because you understand, or we understand, or I understand that the people that I am saying that I'm supposed to help, that I want to help, they can only get as far as they can get depending on where I am.
mm. Okay.
So if in my best self I'm still broken, but I don't look as broken to that person, yes, I'm gonna be able to get them a little further. But honestly, am I really able,
Are
am
you
I
really?
really doing what God called me to do
Mhm.
if I'm not willing to put the time into myself? I just told a client this today. He was like, Dr. J, I'm just so big. I said, did you do your emotion chart, your emotional chart? Because he had an emotion chart. Because what he was doing was living in the bliss of God, like life is amazing, life is great. God is this, God is that. And I said, God is all those things, and life is amazing. Yes, it is. However, you've had all of this trauma in your life. And
Mhm.
if you go around just saying that life is amazing, life is great, you're never going to be able to deal with this, and that's going to always hold you back. So how far are you really going to get in life, right?
Yeah.
Emotionally, mentally, physically, relationally, like how far are you really going to get if you're living in a bubble like life is great? Life is great, God is good, he's all of those things, right? But a lot of times we scapegoat God. We say, oh well, that's just how it's supposed to be. If God didn't want us to go through it, he wouldn't put it on us. Okay, there's some truth to
Mhm.
that. Yes, it is. However, God also calls us to take action. And so grief is about action. You when you're grieving, that means you're taking action. If you're not taking action, are you really grieving? Or are you just throwing pardon me, but a pity party? You want people to be like, oh, what was you? Are you okay? What's going on? Or you want to give yourself permission to do the things that's harmful to you and just accept it for what it is, if that makes sense. So what I'm really saying is that grief requires action. And whatever action you take, as long as it's action and you allow yourself to experience it and say, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to go. What are the steps to get there? Right?
Mhm.
Action. You got to take action in grieving. In your grieving process, to process it requires what? Action? Yes? Or am I tripping? I don't know. I might be tripping. I might be tripping. I might be.
Might not be.
Or
Yeah.
it might not be. So that's what I mean when I say that. It
Mhm.
it it really requires us to understand that in order to do the work that God has called us to do, we must be willing to do the work in ourselves too, basically.
Amen.
We have to. Because grief is not just bereavement. And a lot of times I have to explain that to people. It's not just death.
Mm,
Well,
right.
it can be it can symbolize death, right? You can feel like your world is coming to an end because you didn't get the job, or you lost the job, or you're foreclosed on, or you used to be
Right.
small and now you got big, or you're being bullied. Like you
You
can
can you can grieve an old life, an old relationship.
anything.
You can grieve your hairline.
You can grieve anything.
Something
What
means something to you and you lose
and
it.
you did not get it, or you've lost it. That is
Absolutely.
grief. And so
Ab-
what are you going to do in order to move past that? You have to, again, it goes back to action. You have to take some form of action to move from it. So basically it's getting you from what's not to getting you, so closing the gap in between what's not and what is supposed to be. And you're closing that gap. You can't close it until you take the action that's needed. Does that make sense?
Yes. So one of the first time that I can remember facing a very, very significant loss, I was I went through, I was going through the motions. The first like several months I was just kind of a zombie. But then I started doing things. I tried to reconnect with a part of me that I had put on the shelf for a while. I started acting again. I started doing stage plays and but then it became, I was just so busy. I just stayed busy to just do something to avoid feeling something.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get pretend I'm your client and that was what I was doing? How would
So
you coach me through that?
that I thought I probably didn't answer because I started talking about something else. But that's exactly what happened with my client today. Um, he was saying how he just got so busy. He's like, I'm just so happy. He called me like 3 times this week. I'm just so happy. I'm so excited. And and then going back to that chart, did you do your chart? Oh, I didn't need to because I wasn't angry.
Mm.
No, you still need to do your chart
So
because I
five
need you to
steps, the
see.
steps.
Yeah, I need you to feel every single feeling, every emotion, and know why you're feeling it. Why are you feeling it? And if you're running from it by being busy, that means there's something about it that's scaring you, that feels too much. And that's not okay,
Mm.
because as much as have you heard the saying, busy being busy,
Yes, Laura.
busy being busy. You're chasing your tail. It looked like you're doing a whole lot to a whole lot of people, but you're not doing anything, not in real life, not mentally, not spiritually. You just busy
Whole lot of nothing.
wearing yourself out. And
Whew.
and I know you said, can I walk you through it as if you was the client? So I would say to you, what are you avoiding?
And
What are
in
you
the moment,
avoiding?
I didn't realize it wasn't a conscious thing. It was like, okay, it's time to get out of the house. It's time to get. I felt like the grieving period had an expiration date.
So that's what it is. Okay. So and that happens a lot of times. People, um, sorry, people a lot of times feel like that they can only do it for so long. Like it has an expiration. I have to feel this. I have to feel this. I have to look like this. I have to act like this. No, you don't. No, you do not. I remember a client said her mom was horrible to her.
Mm.
But she loved her mama, but her mama was horrible to her.
Mm.
And it bothered her, but her grief wasn't really the fact that her mom passed on. Her grief was the fact that her mom wasn't the mom that she wanted her to be. And
Mm.
so she was grieving what her mom could never be to her. And
Wow.
so when her mom's birthday came up, and everybody, she's like, Dr. J, they're celebrating my mom's death anniversary, and they're expecting me, and I said, sweetheart, you don't have to
Don't
celebrate
say
it.
that to
You
anyone.
don't have to do that. You can feel how you want to feel. So if you want to stay in a bed, if you want to go roller skate, if you want to read a book, if you want to eat a pint of ice cream, you can do whatever you want. If you just want to act like the day never happened, You can do that too. It is okay. Nobody can tell you how to grieve. But
Mm,
grieve, most definitely grieve, but nobody can tell you how to do that. And if they do, you don't want to listen to them. Because 9 times out of 10, they doing it based on somebody, how somebody told them they supposed to do it.
that part. Yes, it's like we're looking for somebody else to validate our grief, our grieving.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. They may understand the grief, but our grieving, they like, yeah. And we buy into it. We
mm-hmm.
buy into it.
Because society, so you have all of this stuff around you telling you need to buy into it. They,
Mhm.
through the movies, through social media, through whatever modality that they that they throw at you, through
Yeah.
reinforcement of family. They say this is what it needs to look like, and if you're not doing that, something's wrong with you. And because most people, whether they acknowledge it or not, most people want to please people by doing what people expect them to do, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Ooh, that
That's what happens.
expectation, boy, expectation will have you running in circles, chasing
You,
your
and
tail
that's grieving all in its
all by itself.
self.
Absolutely. I would like, I would hope some audience members would tap in. I want to know, what are some of the griefs that people have experienced, and what ways has grief reshaped your identity or your worldview? Has anybody experienced a sense of guilt for moving on when, like we said, people have these expectations? They've set expectations of how your transition into whatever your next stage of life should look like. I want people to tap in. I really uh, would like to think that people can get help during this challenge. People can, it's not just a spectator situation. Um, I've brought this powerful practitioner here, and I want people to connect, like really like make some appointments, fill her calendar up.
Oh,
Uh,
fill my calendar up. So let me say this. So one of the things that I do to help, especially for the loss of a loved one, I created this. It's the combination of a vision board and a and like a grief support combined together. So it's called Legacy Reimagined. And what that looks like is, so I use different modalities. I use hypnotherapy, past life regression, um, imagery, and coaching. Right, I combine them together, and what I do, I ask the participants, or the clients, to think of someone. They don't need to tell me who it is. Just think of someone who's no longer here physically, that you love and you miss. And so once I said, okay, I want you to think about that person, and I want you to now use all of your senses to bring that person to your forefront, as if the person is here. What do they smell like? What do they look like? What do they what are they doing? How is their hair? Like, just whatever you can to bring this person to you. And then they answer a list of questions, right?
mhm,
Like, for example, what is one of your favorite memories? How did it make you feel? Let's go back to a time when they made you feel. So once they've done all of those things, then the next phase of that is for them to answer questions for themselves. How has this person impacted your life? What values did you gain from them? What do you admire most about them? How have they influenced you? Things like that. Okay, so once they've done that, then they get a canvas board or a poster board, and they write down a word that represents the person in the middle, and then they build around it. So now they go to the magazines for the vision board piece of it,
mhm.
and I do things in numbers. So seven, 3, 7, and I think I just do 3 and 7, 3, 7, and 1. So one is the name. Seven, you cut out seven different images or symbols that represent the person, and you cut it out. Then you go and you cut out seven that represent you, what you want to do in your future, your goals, your hopes, your dreams. Cut those out, and then you build around it. So basically what's happening is that you're creating you're aligning your purpose with their legacy. So you're carrying out their legacy, aligning your purpose with them. So now that way you're able to keep them with you as you're walking out life. So basically, the point of it is to let you know life does go on. And this
Mm,
is how it can go on. You can carry them on by doing the things that you're called to do by God, whatever that purpose is for you, you carry their legacy on in that way. And then after that, and within all of that, we're having like discussions and talking about just feelings and emotions and what they see, and tears are happening, release is happening, joy is happening, all of these amazing things are just happening. And then after that, they give it the presentation and they talk, and you just get to see them just light up like, oh
wow.
my gosh. So I've done that with adults and I've done it with children. The children absolutely love it. The
Oh,
children absolutely love it. And I also do something like during the holiday time, because it's really hard for people during holidays. And so I take the anything that, so if you're baking cookies, if you're doing ornaments, everything is centered around the person that you miss. So we're doing the same type of work, bringing the person up, talking about it, association, doing all these things to help them understand that you can move on throughout life. Has anybody asked the question yet?
no, nobody has.
No, okay. I could share this, my grieving moment, my most recent grieving moment.
Okay, please do.
I um so I was just recently diagnosed with functional neurological disorder,
Mm,
which basically means that my nervous system is trying to protect my neurological system. So, and it's because, remember we talked about busy being busy and
yeah.
helping people and not taking care of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was doing most of my life, from 5 until I had the stroke in 4 years, 2021, 4 years ago. I did not take care of me, so my nervous system got overloaded, tired, burnt out, and and when it does that, it shuts down to protect your brain from getting overheated and then burning out. So kind of like, think of it like a cell phone. When it gets too hot, what does it do? It turns off.
Now, yep.
That's the best way I can explain it. And that's how I was explaining it until I got this diagnosis, right?
Mm,
Um, Now the grief part of it is like threefold. One, the first part, I wasn't able to talk or walk for quite some time when I had the stroke. I did cry out to God, and I was like, God, it's no way in the world that you're gonna let me be like this. I got kids to take care of. I got a purpose. Like, what we doing, God? What's up, yo? What are we doing? And
hold on,
he's
time out, time out. Let me tell y'all, her children, her sons are so amazing, so mannerable, they're so handsome.
thank
Good
you.
job, Hazel. Oh my goodness. I had
Thank
to
you.
interject that. Them boys.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was just telling, let me just say that. Thank you for saying that. I was just talking to my 14-year-old. He's in California right now, both the younger two, 13 and 14, in California with their dad. And he was like, Mama, I grew some more. I said, really? He said, yeah, I'm about 6'4" now. I
Oh,
said, really? Okay. I said, so did you get smaller? Did you get bigger? Are you the same? He said, well, I was getting smaller, but now I'm getting some muscle. I'm going to the gym. I'm working out. I said, okay. He getting ready to go to ninth grade. So he over here like, he feeling himself. I said, okay, go ahead and feel yourself, baby. Go ahead. And then he was talking about how he was like, Mom, I got to get serious. I'm going to do better in school. But he had honors classes. So he had ninth grade classes in the eighth grade. But he said, I'm going to do better. I'm going to study because I'm going to MIT or I'm going to Georgia Tech. but I'm going to MIT. I said, okay. I said, well, we have to do concurrent enrollment. You got to get an internship. You got to do this. You got to do that. He said, I'm for it. I'm all for it. Mama, I said, okay, cool.
Yes,
Right
I
on. I
love
love it.
to hear
I love
that.
it. I love it. So how does that tie into what I was saying? Because I was like, God, what do I got these kids? What am I supposed to do? God told me to create, do what I've always done, which is create. So I painted my way 53 canvas boards later, and clearly I can walk and talk. So my life transformed. It made me have to trust God like not like no other. It made me have
Ooh,
to lean in on God, not lean on, but lean in. I had to
yeah,
lean in on him. I
yeah.
had to, I had to
If
really,
you
you
have
know,
ever been sick or injured and incapacitated and you have nothing but God to lean into, I promise you it's a different experience.
it's
It's
oh,
a whole different experience. 2009 for me, baby, when I'm in that hospital for 3.5 months and the doctor walk in my room talking about, I just don't know why you laying there dying. Who else am I turning to? The man that is in the white coat, he didn't gave up on me. What? You
that
better
part.
you better have a relationship. If you don't, what is your hope coming from?
Exactly.
Where is it coming from? It's not coming.
And with that said, it's okay to, I was telling somebody, I said it's okay to get mad with God, to question God, but trust God. He understands, he gets it. Don't run from him. Because I was, God, what is you doing, yo? Like, what's happening here? All in
Come
my
on,
head while I can't talk. What's happening, yo? Like, come on, God, you about to do me like that, baby? Come on now. That's how I be
right,
talking to God. Like, he understand me. He get me. He get me. So I
right.
was like, okay. So again, I had to lean into God. And what happened is that my whole life transformed for the better.
Mm,
Everything that I was busting my tail for almost 20 some years, I got within 1 year. One, I accelerated my dang on recovery. They didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I said, no, by October, I'm going to be talking and I'm going to be walking. It was like, it's not, you can't do it that way. It's going to happen. Watch and believe. They
okay.
couldn't do anything but release me from speech therapy and everything else. They couldn't do it because they just was like, whoa. I was like, yes, that's just how God does it. And I believe that much. When you're grieving, it's very important, I believe, to go to where your strength, go to your strength, go to the source. You may not understand it. You definitely ain't gonna like it. It's definitely not gonna feel good. You're definitely gonna be hurt by it. And people say, what you go through makes you stronger. Yeah, but the reality is when you in it, and the junk don't feel good. And you can tell God all about it. Listen, God, it don't feel good. I don't like it. What you doing? I didn't think you was gonna do me like that. What are you confused, God? Help me understand. You can go to God just like that, and He will come and give you just the best peace. When I say peace and joy, the the peace and the joy, what does it say, that supersedes anybody's understanding,
All
right?
understanding.
Surpasses all
Yeah,
understanding.
all understanding, not some, not kind of, a little bit.
All
All
of it. It surpasses it. It's the peace of God, it's the joy of God that you can have in the midst of your grief. But again, in order for that to happen, you have to take action. So taking action for God, that means leaning in on Him. That's action. Trusting Him, that's action. Going to Him, that's action. You got to take action.
yeah.
Action is the what is like the peanut butter and jelly to the to the bread, to the
But
sandwich.
it goes to another scripture. Faith without works is dead. What
Exactly.
is the action? You have to take action. Just having faith that God is going to heal your heart, God is going to make you, you know, come through this. But if you don't do anything to get through it yourself, you're going to stay where you are.
You're gonna
I
stay where
can
you
tell
are.
you, that's my living testimony. I was on that treadmill for a good 2 years.
Mm.
And until I decided I was done being stuck and I reconnected because I call myself breaking up with God.
You broke up with him. You tried to divorce him. You tried to divorce him.
I try. You can't pluck yourself from his hand. He sat there and let me have that tantrum for them 2 years. But hey,
And
I'm telling
look at you now, glowing from the inside out.
you. Let me tell you the funny story about that. That the day that I came back to myself. I was sitting down. This was the day, all the bubbles, all that happened the same day. I was sitting at my kitchen table and I had a bunch of, for whatever reason, I had all these papers on my table going through. It was real estate stuff. I've been paperless since I've been an agent. I don't know why I had all these printed papers, but they were all over my table. And and I was cooking dinner. When my dinner got done, I sat down to eat, still all these papers all over the place, but I had this girl, shout out to Monica Jackson. Listen, everybody need a Monica Jackson in your life. If you don't have my book Residue, get the book, you'll understand. Everybody needs a Monica Jackson. I ain't never met the girl in person, but everybody needs a Monica Jackson. Monica Jackson poured
Monica
into
Jackson, thank you, baby.
Monica
Thank you.
Jackson poured into my life like nobody's business. And we spoke like a year or so later. She don't even remember what she said to me, but she said what she needed to say in that moment. So anyway, I sat down to eat, had the Bible app reading, and it was like the stuff sunk in, but I still didn't register, right? And I went to bless my food and I heard a voice say, "Who are you praying to?" Mind you, I don't want to hear nothing about or from God, but I couldn't eat without blessing my food. Crazy. Could not eat without blessing my food. And then I literally looked around like that and it was like, heard it again. Who are you praying to? And it was in that moment that first of all that conviction came over me like, golly. And I felt this sense of weight lifting off of me and I just cried out, praise, praise, never ending praise. No matter what I go through, I will always praise him. And then I ended up writing a song about it. Right,
That's
literally wrote a
beautiful.
song called Never Ending Praise. So that
That I love that. You just reminded me in 2018, I was going through a lot. I was in a very unhealthy marriage. I lost my brother. I I gained like 100 pounds because it was just so unhealthy. I had postpartum depression. I lost my job, got blacklisted from my job. I broke out in boils and styes. My hair was falling out. All when I I
wow.
posted a picture of how I looked. I had the nerve to take a picture for my ID. How ooh, you wouldn't even thought that was me. I don't know what that was, but I was bold enough to take that picture. But anyways, I leading up to and I understood why people would take their I was also in graduate school. I saw I got diagnosed with a learning disability. So I have a processing um learning this challenge also. And so uh-oh, my computer's about to die.
Battery.
So um let me fast forward. So I saw myself hanging from a noose.
Oh,
I understood why people would drive off a bridge or would take their kids' life and then take their life. I understood all of that. I understood because that's where I was at. And one day I just went to church and I tried to divorce God. I didn't even try to break up when I tried to divorce him. And it wasn't because he did something to me. It was because I thought I did something to him. I said, I'm not even good enough. I'm going to leave you because I keep hurting you. I keep disappointing you, God. I ain't what you thought I was. Like, that's where I was at. But
woo.
I had enough in me to go to church one day. And God whispered to me the words courageous, strong, and steadfast. And those three words carried me through all of that stuff. All of that stuff. I was able to graduate with my MBA in spite of my learning disability and got one of the top fellowships. I was able to get the highest class in managerial accounting. I was able to get me a job. I was able to make sure my everything that needed to happen. I was determined to publish my first book, and the name of my book was called Courageous, Strong, and Steadfast.
Okay.
And I end up finding out, do you know how many scriptures hold those three words? Courageous, strong, and steadfast. I didn't even know those words were in the Bible, yo. Like I was like, that's how I knew it was God. And I'm telling you, those words, those three words are part of the essence of everything I do. Courageous, strong, and steadfast. Now, the beauty of it is that there's levels to everything, right?
Absolutely.
So the purpose I had then is not the purpose I have now, but I'm still walking in my purpose, right? The
Yes.
love I have for me then is not the love I have for me now, but I love myself, right?
Mm.
The joy I had then is not the joy I have now because I have a different understanding, right? So all of that, I had to, in tying it back to the grieving part, I had to have those experiences, but I had to take the action to understand that I was actually grieving through the stuff to get to my glow, because
Yeah.
I am a glowologist. I help people glow from the inside out. God gave me glow before people done turned it into all this stuff. God glowing is God being inside of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you illuminating God in all that you do and all that you go through. That's what the glow is. That's what it is. I am a glowologist, and I help people understand. Although you're going through what you're going through and life gets hard, it gets hard, it's messed up. You one minute you can be here, the next minute you can be down here, and all of it will come together for your good. But when people say that, they forget to help you understand that the stuff don't feel good. But if you
Right.
just trust God, you just trust him, you just lean in on him, and you just keep it 100 with God. He already know. He just needs
No.
you to know that he know. And the only way he know that you know is by you confessing it to him. And he's going to come in and do all the stuff that needs to be done, and watch your life turn. So that thing that you thought was getting ready to break you, that was shaking you up, that was knocking you down, all of that is going to come back, and it's going to be your strength to take you to the next level in your purpose, the next level in your life, the next level in your love, the next level in your success. All of it comes together, but you got to hold on. You got to hold on. You got to trust. And trusting your trusting your hold on does not look like anybody else's.
At
It
all.
does not look like anybody else's. Do 1% more than what you did before, and you're going to get there. And you're going to get there a lot quicker than just staying stuck and letting people throw you a pity party. Oh, well, if you didn't grow up this way, or if you just did. No, you got it, and you got it, and that's what it is. I can't explain it. I can't explain why I was molested, why I was homeless, why I was mentally, emotionally, physically abused, why I was sexually abused. I can't explain those things. That junk didn't feel good. It messed me up. However, I wouldn't be who I am today if
Without it.
I did not go through that stuff. And I happen to love and like me. And the work that I'm able to do for God's people is out of this world, because God chose me to go through that, to show up for you, to show up for you today, to show up, to be here today. So anyone listening, understand that God chose me to go through all that I went through for you. So don't feel pity for me. Don't feel sorry. Don't feel sick, because I don't. I'm okay. I'm excited about it because I get to be here for you. I'm excited about it. So if you want to, if you need some love, you need some support, you need a listening ear, go. You can DM me, Facebook me, you can call me on my phone. Look me up on my website, hazeljay.com, Instagram, Dr. Hazel J, iGlow Consultant. You can Google me, baby. You'll find me there too. Google me, baby. But under my point being is that you can make it. You can make it. Do not and whatever you do, whatever you don't do, make sure you don't stay in the dark. Go
That
get some sunlight. The sun, that's the best advice I can give you. Outside of leaning in on God, go get the sunlight. The sun will do things for you that that no person can do for you. Get you some
absolutely.
sunlight. Get some sunlight.
Absolutely.
Hug a tree if you need to. Hugging trees is good too, baby. Trust. Hug a tree,
Hey,
get some
hey, hey,
sunlight, and love on God.
literally, people don't understand the therapeutic properties of the sun. If you don't get enough sunlight, you won't have enough vitamin D, and you will have so many deficiencies that you don't understand in your body. I went undiagnosed for years as without knowing that I had a strong vitamin D deficiency. And once I knew it, initially they had me on. They gave me these really powerful supplements that I had to take like 5 times. So they were real so strong that I only needed 5 of them. But now, baby, I'm looking at ingredients. I am Googling what foods are high in vitamin D, as well as the best one, the sun.
The sun.
Sun. I'm telling you, when I moved to Georgia from Nevada, I was living in Vegas. It rains maybe 10 times a year out there. So I there's an echo. Is that your
Yeah,
phone?
give me 1 second.
Living in Las Vegas is always sunny. So when I came here, it was like, oh dang, it rains a lot here. But my sun exposure was very different here in Georgia. I wasn't riding my bike 10 times or 10 miles every day. I wasn't mountain climbing. I wasn't doing all the things. I wasn't kayaking down the Colorado River. I just had a completely different lifestyle when I moved to Georgia. And and I still could have but when I moved to Georgia, my quality of life shifted because I became a lot busier. That thing that we talked about earlier, I got real busy just doing busy work, and it wasn't necessarily being productive. I was doing a lot of things, I was accomplishing things, I was acquiring things, I was making relationships and doing a lot of things that people would love to do. There a lot of amazing things that I have done since I've been here, but I wasn't outside. I was always, I think our computer died. I think that I transitioned and was not even aware. And I did not know that I would be grieving my old life. And I've been trying to get back to Vegas ever since. This year was the year that I kind of am bi-coastal now. But that sunshine matters so very much. I see Marie said preach. Sis was going in. She was going in. I heard that chime on her phone on her computer. I know that sound her laptop was saying, plug me in, plug me in. But yes, I have really enjoyed. I don't know if Dr. Hazel is going to be able to jump back on, but I am really. Let me minimize my screen. She might be trying to be there already. She is. There you go. Wait a minute. Which one?
Hold
Oh,
on, hold on, hold on.
I had to.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
There I am.
There
Okay.
you.
I
Huh?
tried to log in through my phone, but you didn't know I was backstage. So I apologize.
Full screen. That's okay. I had the full screen on my computer and I didn't. I said, I don't know if she's going to be able to jump back in. And then I said, oh, I don't know if she tried or then I minimized my computer screen.
But my
Oh,
apologies.
no worries, sis. You were going in. Oh my goodness. Do you remember where you left off? Because you were flowing in the spirit, honey. I don't know if you can jump back.
I don't. And so that was God. That wasn't me. I don't even know what I
It
was
showed.
saying.
Trust me. It showed. I
I don't even know what I was saying.
You went in. You went in. I don't know either, but I know one thing. This is one I'm definitely going to be going back and watching again, where I can actually just sit back and not be in the production and just watch it. And
Oh,
and
wow.
for those of you who are out there watching, I encourage you to not only share this, but to um go back and watch it again. I really think that there were some nuggets dropped that can help somebody. I know way too many people who are hurting. When I was setting up this live right before we got on, I saw on Facebook there's people that I know that have passed away today. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm
Yeah.
I'm Yeah.
What I would like to say this though. What and my speech is getting ready to change because I'm tired now.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that sometimes when people get really sad about someone passing on, it goes back to they've been taught that's what they're supposed to do.
Mhm.
They've been taught they're supposed to be sad. They're supposed to be in anguish. They're supposed to be hysterical. They've been taught that. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes sit with yourself and say, am I really, do I really feel that way? Or am I choosing to be that way because I've been taught to do that? There's there's two things that's guaranteed to happen in life. Two things that's guaranteed to happen.
Death and taxes.
Death and taxes. Now some people can avoid taxes, so it's not guaranteed for everybody. But
Oh, I need y'all.
but death is guaranteed to happen. I think that just like mental health, mental wellness, um, really having those conversations, especially in certain communities, it's important um, to share the importance
Mhm.
of acknowledging where you are and seeking help. It's okay. You don't have to put on a show. You don't have to put on a mask. You don't have to do those things. If you're hurting, you're hurting. You're human. And hurting doesn't take away from your faith. It doesn't take away from your trust. It doesn't take away from that. Hurt is hurt. God gave us emotions and feelings for a reason,
Absolutely.
and He wants you to to embrace those feelings because it allows people to know that life is not one-sided.
Right.
It's life is not what is the honky dory? Life is not life. I people say used to say it a lot. Life be life, and I don't know if people really say it like that as much. But I said, listen, if life wasn't life, then what's the alternative? You'd be dead,
Because death be
right?
death and too, honey.
Because death be death. Then you'd be dead. So
Absolutely.
so do would it be better for life to be life in? I think so because
Yeah,
I'm valuable and I'm important and I
I know.
want to show up and enjoy this world to the
Ab-
very best of my ability, right? I
ab-
want to, and I want to walk in the purpose that God has ordained for me to walk in, right? So I can't and death, while it may be for most mourning in the physical, death happens in many different ways.
yes.
and,
Yes.
and sometimes you have to kill some things in your life. You have to put it to rest in order to birth something new. And that
Yes.
also is a part of the grieving process. What do you need
Yes.
to lay to rest? Sometimes the people in our lives that become absent from the body, this is what I told my kids. I said, whenever God takes me, understand He's taking me away from you, not because He's being mean, but because I fulfilled everything that I can fulfill in your life. And God knows that you have within yourself to be able to continue life without me.
Uh-huh.
That's the only way that I can share it to them so they don't do what some folks do and get stuck and turn to alcohol or turn to drugs or turn to some type of addictive behavior, right? Some type of something to soothe. So again, what I tell, listen, when God takes me, He knows that you can handle it. I just need you to know that you can handle it. So I
Yes.
need you to dig within yourself and understand I'm always going to be with you. So that's what to the folks, your loved ones are going to always be with you. They always are going to be with you. Two things are guaranteed to happen, and death is one of them. Death is one of them. And because we don't know when death is going to happen, we don't know that, right? None of us know that. It's very important, again, to live in the now, to live in
Absolutely.
the now, to appreciate the now, to
Yeah.
be intentional with your time, with your relationships, with your energy, with your finances, with your relationship with God. Be intentional so you
Yeah.
can live in the moment, because you don't know when death is going to come knocking on your door. And it
Right.
doesn't always have to be physical death. It
Right.
can be the death or the loss of something, right? So you want to be very intentional in that.
Right.
Um,
And that comes really with the more of a posture of gratitude. When you appreciate something while you have it and you give your all, you love it to your fullest capacity, it becomes easier to accept when that thing is no longer in your life. um
yes, because it's not, because now you're not doing it from a place of regret. That's
that's
what
that,
can prolong the grieving
yeah.
process, is because now you're living in, you're in a regret mode. If I would have done this, or if this could have happened,
Yep.
or and and
I
and
wasn't there,
I
or
wasn't there.
what if
You
I
start
would have.
blaming, guilt,
Yep.
shame, resentment. Those are the things that keep you stuck
Yep.
in in that mourning season in your life.
Hmm.
Be grateful for what you do have. Be
Yeah.
grateful, and God, and ask God to tell you how to work through it, how to navigate through it. I remember one time I was missing my dad so much, I wrote a letter through his voice. It said, okay, what would my dad tell me? And I wrote a letter with him talking to me, pouring into me. And do you know that brought tears to my eyes? And
Okay.
that was just me writing through what I thought he would say to me.
Wow.
Um, I look into the sky. Like I got my dad, we had elephants. My dad was Sri Lankan, so elephants is part of his culture. So I have an elephant. I don't know if you can see it. Let me, but
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
have the elephant, and he loved the star, like the galaxy, the stars. So we look at the telescope. So I have seven. Seven's my favorite number. It's tatted on my neck. 7 stars with the moon. His name meant moon, and then the elephant. And so sometimes, so that's how I keep him like this with me. So sometimes I kiss, and I'll be like, okay, Dad, I love you. I miss you. Like I do things like that, and it's okay. um you can do things, you can find your own thing. Association is really great, being able to take something and associate it to something else when you start feeling in a way that you don't want to feel, and it really does bring you to tears, and it's okay if it does. It really is. It
Hmm.
is okay for you to cry. Crying, actually, I used to have my clients for their grief. Now it wasn't because they lost somebody in the natural or in the physical, it's because they was just grieving like different expectations that didn't happen. And I said, I want you to cry. So I gave them, you need to cry at 3 o'clock. You need to cry at 6 o'clock. You need to cry at 9 o'clock. I want you to intentionally cry.
Wow.
That helps you guys. Pick a time that you want. Choose your favorite number and cry at that time. Cry. Hug yourself. Hug yourself. Hug yourself. Hugging is one of the best things that you
That
can do
is
for yourself.
therapeutic. Yes.
Hug
Yes. Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
And if you hug yourself in the sun, that's even better.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Hug
Oh,
yourself.
everybody, hug yourself in the sun tomorrow. It's already, if you're on the West Coast, and I got some West Coast people. If you're on the West Coast, it's still light outside. Go hug yourself in the sun.
Hug yourself in the sun.
In the sun. That's an assignment now. Now, anything else you don't do, that one you need to do.
And you're gonna see how lighter you're gonna become. You're gonna feel in that moment.
Yes. I
Because
love
life is moment by moment.
Yeah.
There's it's moment by moment. That's what I had to learn. It's moment by moment.
Mm-hmm.
One moment I'm good, one moment I'm not. Right now I'm not stuttering. Uh Yesterday I was stuttering like crazy. Today I'm not. Right, or at least right now I'm not. I don't know what's going to happen when I get off of here. But right now I'm not. It look like I'm normal, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
It's moment by moment, y'all. It really really is. It really is. Um and
Lotto.
I
I
think
forgot to check back on Instagram. Lotto, Damo, Goddess 10,000. I'm Jessica Myers. Hey, Jessica. Sell with Tell and uh Indie Promotions. I think that's who that is. Hey, everybody. I hope you all have been enjoying this live stream with Dr. Hazel Jay, Growing Through Grief. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, then anything you want help with in this regard, man, feel free to ask a question. We have been on here over an hour. I was ready to shut it down, but sis is flowing. She is
thank you. Yeah,
flowing.
please ask questions.
Yes, this was really meant to help people in real time. I and I don't know that I'm this brave, but I gotta get hypnotized, sis.
Oh, let me know when you're
I
ready.
wanna do it. I'm so
Let me know when you're ready. Getting hypnotized, listen, it's not what people think. You have to
I've
give
been
the person
I've been once.
permission.
Right.
You have to get in order for me to be able to do that, I have to have your permission. You have to
Mhm.
be a willing vessel. You
Yeah.
have to be. And 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 it's funny because at one point I was questioning, am I allowed to go into that space when I'm saying that I love God and me and God is like this, right? That's funny because I told my client was like, you and God is like this. I said, no, me and God not like this yet. We more like this, but we gonna be like this one day. But right now we like this. I said, well, our fingers crossed though. Well, our fingers is crossed. Our fingers is crossed. But yeah, him, man, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. It helps unlock. There's every single person, and I kid you not, every single person that have come to me, and I've been able to um blessed them in that way, they've walked away healed in some capacity.
Mm.
They have, whether it was the release of pain in their backs, whether it was insight, whether it was a revelation or a transformation.
Mm.
Um, because no matter what modality I use, or if I combine them all together, what's never not going to be there is God. He's always going to be in the midst of it. When you said, well, what can you remember what you said? I said, I don't know. That was God. I don't know
Right.
what I said. I don't
I've done
know.
that. I've done that before. Be flowing and somebody say that again. What'd you say? I don't know. You should have been listening or taking notes
I don't. I
or
used to tell my
recording or
clients that all the
something.
time. I don't know. Take
I
notes, honey.
when you're working with somebody who truly flows in their gift and they listen to God, like you better record because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna come out. It's organic, it's not rehearsed, it's not scripted. Like that's why I didn't have
Listen, I tried the script one because my show Get Lit with Dr. Hazel Jay. I was like, okay, let me plan this out. It's gonna go this. Man, when I tried that mess, I sounded and looked like a complete fool to myself. I was like, what is that? I said, okay, let me throw this out. Okay, y'all, what's up? This is your girl, Dr. Hazel J. And we on the show Get Lit with Dr. Hazel J. And we just gonna talk about this. What's going on, baby? How you doing? How you feeling? How you popping? What's happening? Like I had that because that's my personality, right? But
right.
me trying to follow a script, you it don't work because you're
The,
not. How are you going to be able to help people heal if you're scripted?
yeah, because
You're
all you're doing is
scripted.
worrying about the next question, the next thing.
Yeah.
You're not really present. You're not really present. I don't script any of my like none of my podcasts have been scripted. I did one interview about 3 years ago, and I was requested to send a list of questions that I was going to ask this. He was my first and only so far billionaire. And I had to send the
I'm
questions
so
ahead of
sorry.
time. Yeah, and but once I got them, like we were virtual. So once I got him on the screen and we're looking at each other, he was like, "Oh, I feel so much more comfortable. The questions you sent weren't invasive." And like he didn't he was like, I said, "So is there anything I can't talk about?" He was like, "If it comes up, I'll let you know." And the only thing that he answered all kind of questions, he had to fight back from crying. The only thing that he didn't want to discuss was how much he paid for the price of his house. That was it.
Wow.
And I was like, bro, it's public knowledge, but
Something was connected to that, why he didn't want to do that. There was
yeah.
something
So
that was deeper to that.
I mean, I wanted to have a conversation with somebody who paid 9 figures for a house. I wanted, I, I wanted to go down that road.
Oh, because you're a real estate. Yeah, that so it makes sense. Like, come on, that's what I needed right there.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the only thing. And other than that, I have never scripted anything. I can't do it. I might like have some bullet points that I want to talk about just so I'm making sure that I'm getting out what the people need. But then you'll have sometimes like I had bullet points and I don't know if you saw the interview I did with Head Crack. That brother took the whole interview over. I laughed. I didn't get to I mean, it was funny. It was a very good interview. The person who was doing my booking, she scheduled him for like 15 minutes. Girl, we were on there for an hour. So it's like you got to be able to flow in this business for sure. If you're doing this, you're going to serve the people when you have the capacity to just flow. And I know that I flow in my gifts, baby. I ain't never ran from a stage and a microphone. I am my mama and my daddy's child. I'm a child. There's multiple parents. So Cheryl and Jimmy, if you know them, you know. My daddy is Reverend Halsey, and my mama been singing since she could talk. So I am who
You
I
got it.
am.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
All the way honest. So I can't help but be who I am. And then when I got older and developed my own relationship with God, man, he flowed through me like crazy. Like that's why I can't go nowhere without people just pulling up and pouring out on me.
And what I appreciate about you saying is that, you said your dad's a reverend and your mom's been singing since she's a little. So and you said when you got your own relationship, because there's a difference.
It is.
The you so, sometimes family members will create your relationship with God,
Okay. Yes.
and you have to learn how to form your relationship
Oh,
with God.
absolutely.
There's a difference. Now, I want to say this, while I say God this and God that, and I love God, me and God like this, I didn't grow up a Christian. I was actually Buddhist. I grew up
Your dad
Buddhist.
from Sri Lanka.
My
Yeah.
Because my dad's from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Um,
So how
I
did you make that transition? What was
Because God is always, before I had a name for it, I always felt different. I always felt connected to something. It's just always been that way. Um, I got introduced to God through my mom's mom when I was 10 for, I think it was vacation Bible school, and it was like arts and craft type stuff.
yeah.
Then when I moved to Oakland, I got I got acquainted with God on a different level. It was Friday Night Live. That's what it was, Friday Night Live. So it was still fun, but I was just listening and learning in that way. 16, this guy named Donald Johnson, he invited me to church. I think it was for Halloween, and it was called a Hallelujah Fest. And that's when I got saved. I think it was 16.
Okay.
But I went through the part of getting saved, but I didn't really understand.
Mm,
I knew I had God, and I finally understood what that feeling was, but I didn't really understand. 18 is when I was able to go to church and figure stuff out. And I'm very much not a traditional church person.
mhm.
I'm not traditional. I question a lot of things because I didn't understand. Like they would say, in order for God to hear you, you have to scream at the top of your lungs. I'm like, but what if You don't have a voice, or you got to get on your knees. But what if you don't got no knees, or your knees hurt? You telling me God? You telling me God discriminates? Like, is that what you trying to tell me? God got a bias? Is that what you trying to tell
That's
me?
that religion. That ain't nothing. That
That's what I'm
let
saying.
me tell you something about that. Get on your knees and all that. You know how if you're in a church or you're in a setting and they say bow your head, I don't. I may close
I
my
don't
eyes.
even use the word amen. And I say Selah, I say, so it is. And those are in the Bible, not Ashe, but so it is and Selah is. And when I was looking, they said it at the end of a prayer. It's done
Mhm.
at the end of a prayer. So I said, why am I saying amen? Because now I am looking at it logically though. Amen. I don't want to say that. It doesn't take away from me sealing God's prayer. It doesn't, I don't believe it does. And God hasn't convicted me anything different.
Oh,
He does convict me on a lot of things. He most definitely does. He definitely does. And I was sharing all that to say, while I love God the way I love God, and me and God be rocking it out, and I be talking to him the way I talk to him. I tell people all the time, Hazel Jay be messing up big time. I
there
be messing
there
up.
was only one perfect human ever on earth.
I be messing up big time. And I had to learn how to be okay with that, because I was so hard on myself, because I thought I had to look and act and be a certain way.
Yes.
I recently, over the past 2 years, I've been being called a prophet, a prophetess, a minister. One of my clients said, "You my pastor." I said, "Your pastor?" What? She said,
We know
"This
folks.
is your ministry. You really minister to me each time you we have a session." And I was like, wow. And it's taken me a minute. I'm still not walking in that I'm not walking, I'm not owning that yet. I'm being honest, I'm not. But I
Mhm.
do know that I do have the gift of ministering to people. I know that. But because I'm still working through some of that traditional stuff and what I've been taught, I hold back on it. But that does not, but it doesn't stop me from having the relationship I have with God. So why am I saying all of that? Because a lot of times we will run from what we feel by God because of what people say you have to be, you have to say, you have to do. Your
Absolutely.
relationship is personal.
Very personal, and it's
It's
nobody else's business. Even if you are married, it's not your spouse's business.
your relationship is personal.
Very.
Allow where God needs to ask God to convict you where he needs to convict you, right?
Mhm.
Ask God to strengthen you where he needs to strengthen you, right? But your relationship is personal, it's God's. Now that doesn't mean that you can go do whatever you want under the sun and give yourself a pass to do that. That's not what that means.
Right.
That means that your relationship is personal and you honor that relationship. And so as you're growing and maturing in God, it's going to start changing and looking and feeling different. And
Mhm.
wherever you start is where you start. God just wants you to start.
That's
That's
it.
all he wants you to do is just start.
That's it.
That's it. Just
I want
start.
to. I want to acknowledge a few more people who joined. Shay and Ran. Hey, let's see. I can't see who's on YouTube. I see there's two people on there, but nobody said anything. Rock RKC Will. I am L Patton. Eric Troy. What's up? The funky one. I am acknowledging you. If you have any questions, any grief that you are trying to grow through, you have any questions, man, let's get it. Let's have the conversation. While we do have Dr. Hazel Jay here, um, and something that I really want to make sure I get out. I said to you that I don't. I'm not one that bows my head and all that during a prayer. That is because I am really into checking my heart posture. When you especially when you have some heaviness on you and you are already feeling beat
And
down and you bow like that and you're vulnerable in that moment, even more vulnerable, and you're opening yourself up. physically and spiritually, baby, you are subject to even bigger and stronger attacks. I do not. When I say I I might close my eyes, but I am keeping my spirit tuned above. I can, and it may not make sense to anybody else, but I'm telling you, if you check your heart posture and you stand tall and strong in that moment when you were in that vulnerable space, honey, it has made
And,
all the difference in the world for me.
and so what I'm hearing you say, it's your association. You've associated your heart posture to sitting up tall and being in alignment with God this way. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes your association. So if you associate, because what we don't want to do is have somebody think that if they bow their
You're
head,
wrong.
that
No, I'm talking about what I do.
what
Yeah.
she does. That's what she's
Yep.
saying. It's what she does. So that works for her. Like, I don't say amen. I don't say amen. I say Selah, so it is so. I say those things. That's my choice, right? You can say
Mhm.
amen. You can bow
Whatever
your head.
works for you
It's
and
your
your God.
choice. It's what works for you. It's how you associate it. Just associate something to
Yes.
God so you can get where you need to go in God, right? That's all, that's what we're saying.
And that's absolutely. And thank you, because I don't mean to imply that my way is the way. Nope. I'm sharing what I do, because if there is somebody who feels that sense of extra heaviness, you might want to just stand up and look up.
And that really is about, because I wanted to do a demonstration, but that very much is true. Like, even if you're not going to be able to see my hands all the way out, but if you can put your hands all the way out at a 90-degree angle, and you can see your fingers at a 90-degree angle, that means you're centered. That's like an assessment of you being centered, right?
Mhm.
And so if you the closer you got to bring your hands to see them, that means you're not as centered, right? And so how do you center yourself? So that's one assessment, the 90-degree angle. The closer you are to 90 degrees, the more centered you are. The further you away from 90 degrees, the less centered you are. So how do you center yourself in those moments? So one of the things that you can do, another way of assessing it is being able to turn your head from left to right. The further you can turn your neck to the left, and the further you can turn your neck to the right, you're more centered. The further you can rotate it back, or rotate it around, meaning to the left or to the right, right? So how do you do that? You can do, there's two things that you can do that I'm going to share, two strategies that you can do. One is the blowing, like if you had a straw. If you don't have a straw, so most people not going to just have a straw right here next to my
That's
home.
what I
So
have.
she got that, got the bubbles. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a breath in for 2 seconds. You're going to hold it for 2 seconds, and then you're going to release it for 8 seconds. Breathe in, hold it, and release. Make the sound as you're releasing for 8 seconds. And you do that 3 times. All right. And now try the 90-degree angle of your head. Are you able to turn it a little further?
One thing I can say, if I if it didn't go any further, I didn't have the pain that I had the first time.
Wow.
So the first time, I'm thinking, man, I gotta call a chiropractor for real. Second time, it just went. I didn't feel the tension, like, right. It was real
Right there.
tight right here. I didn't
Hmm.
feel that tightness the second time.
Awesome.
Rest
Awesome.
was
Awesome.
amazing.
And another thing that you can do is, some people call it tapping, but it's really, you're doing more than just tapping. So if you start from the bottom of your foot, from the toes all the way up to your body, and you just hit it, right? Or you get a dry brush and you brush, right?
Mm.
That's going to help release and center, so the stress can start, like, it feels like it's kind of like shedding and falling off. If you do that, and then you try to do the assessment with your hands at the 90-degree angle or the neck, you'll be able to see. And if it doesn't work, you just do it again. You just adjust it until you're able to center yourself. So if you we can do it now. Just do it right now. Just hit just 20 seconds. Just start hitting. Do your arms, your chest, and then on your head, you just bring it down, bring it across, pull it back, do the neck. Just now try the 90-degree. Make sure my hat don't fall off. Do the 90-degree with your hands or your head and see if
With
it
my
goes.
hands on my head.
Your hands or your head. No,
Oh,
hands or your head. Sorry. Sorry. So 90 degrees with your hands to see if you can see your fingers. Can you see them further away from you now? Or do you still have to bring them as close?
No, I can actually I see, like, especially on my thumb, sure, and my pinky. It's like I feel like weird. Like, how come I didn't see it the first time?
Uh-huh. Now try it with your neck. You're definitely going further.
I felt that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Right? Right?
What?
And that will help when you're going through whatever you're going through. Just take some time to do that. That in itself is self-care. Sometimes we confuse it with getting our nails done, our hair done, going buying us a nice suit. That's beautiful. You're gonna do that anyway. Self-care is really taking time out to do something that is just for you.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's gonna know, nobody's gonna see how you feel inside. That's your self-care is the inside of you. You're caring for your inside self. To
Yes.
me, that's what self-care is. You're caring for
Absolutely.
yourself internally, not externally. That's just, what is that? That's grooming. That's grooming. Grooming and
That's the
self-care
perfect
is
word. Almost like I can't remember how many nights on this challenge I have said that. Baby, going to get the mani pedi is not
self-care.
true self. That's not real self-care.
That's grooming. You just want to be cute.
It's grooming.
Other people get to appreciate your cuteness. Oh, I like your nails, girl. You get to hear the validation.
Right.
Self-care, you don't get validation from that
Final
necessarily until
validation.
you start exuding your healing,
When
right? Your
people
your
start
glow.
to see the difference in your demeanor, when people start
Yes.
to see your glow, your inner glow
Yes.
will be outer.
That
It will
that's
come, it
self-care.
will exude from you. You will definitely, like, it's different. It's different. People will start to "Oh, you got a new man, you got what you doing, what you doing?" Because
Mhm.
it will really show when you are truly caring for self. Oh my
That
goodness. That was
there
amazing. Like, I can truly feel it. Hey, Ebony Brown, I see you dropped in the comment. Anybody, I swear, anybody, you guys can ask questions. This is not just a spectator sport. I am here for it. Love is always, sis, love is always the subject.
love.
Listen, she needs to be on here. Sister girl is deep, 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 deep. Now,
You said?
don't play with, she's on Instagram. We got a couple different platforms going simultaneously. This has been like a journey for me. Dr. Hazel Jay, one of the things that I have said over and over and over again, there have been days where I was tired. I'm tired tonight. Um, Part of my challenge for myself doing this 30 days of I owe me has been because I needed to challenge myself. I'm saying that I'm a content creator who's not out here creating content. I got to get in the habit. I took time off from my podcast, and I have this, I've been coaching a lot, and I have this companion journal um to my book Residue, and I was doing all these things that felt disjointed, and I really needed something to push myself to show up for me every day. This is your calling, this is your purpose, this is what you said you want. Why are you not showing up for you? And so because baby, it's excuses be excusing. Oh, I'm tired.
But and
Oh,
it's crazy because we won't let those excuses stop us for showing up for other people though. But
that's
when
the
it comes
thing.
to us or when it comes to me,
Absolutely.
I got all the excuses
All
in
the
the
excuses in the world.
world.
But I'm gonna show up. I am 10 toes down for everybody else. Well, baby.
And that's when I really understood that I used to say I don't need people to validate me, but there was a different level to the validation. I actually me showing up for other people was them filling that void of that attachment void or that dis or not having that. So those voids that the stuff that I didn't have growing up, that little girl Hazel. So let me pause for a second on that. Sometimes I have to say, baby girl, talking to my little Hazel, baby girl, it's okay. I see you. I love you. You're okay. You're safe. Sometimes I have to do that to me because there's a lot of baby girl and teenage girl that's still wounded and hurt. And I don't know that until I have an experience in my adult life. And then I'm like, okay, let me pause and let me see how I can make this connection. And then I'm able to go back and help heal little Hazel, right? Um, so what you were why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that? I think I don't even remember why I said that. But somebody needed to hear that though. I
For
just don't know
sure.
why I said that.
For sure.
Somebody needed to hear that. Um I forgot. Go ahead cuz I forgot. You said something that triggered something for me to say something, but now I don't remember what that
I was
something
talking
was.
about not showing up for myself, and I have excuses
Yes.
when it comes to me and doing the thing that I said.
That's that's what it was. Thank you.
Mhm.
So when you're able to show it for other people and they're like, oh, thank you, like they need you, they want you, and that feeds you. And that's like, okay, that's your motivator. That's your
Yep.
motivator. When I realized that was my motivator, I had to actually take a step back. It goes back to when I said scapegoating God or just scapegoating, right? Like, no, okay, Hazel, are you doing this because this is what you are called to do, or is this what makes you feel good to do? There's a
Ooh,
difference.
big difference.
There's a difference. Am I using discernment or am I fulfilling a void? There's a difference. And it doesn't take away from your gift. It just matters how you use your gift.
How you use it.
How do
Absolutely.
you use your gift? That's
Absolutely.
very important because a lot of times we can misdirect, mislead ourselves into believing that we're walking in our calling when what we're really doing is satisfying a void. And
Mm,
we're using that as
mm.
a way to avoid what we need to heal because
Yes.
it's too much, it's too heavy.
It's too much. And avoidance is that's a whole nother show, sis. Avoidance. I have honestly, I had to recognize at one point I was masterful at avoidance.
Especially when you busy being busy.
Busy being busy. Busy being busy. Let me tell you something. Avoidance, that's a whole thing. I'm talking about and the funniest part of me having strong avoidance tendencies, people who've known me, like especially people I grew up with, would never believe that. Like, I'm not confrontational. This reason I say that they wouldn't really believe that because I used to fight all the time. Like all the time. I was not the one you really wanted to mess with. You really had to feel confident if you were coming up and running up on me. And I'm not being like boastful or anything like that, but I'm just saying, people who know me know I'm on live and I can't hide from what I'm saying. I
She's to throw
avoided
down, yo. She was, you was got to get it.
hands was baby, but I never liked confrontation. And I used to joke, I'm like, if I hit you, you made me. Because I I swear I would avoid stuff. And it took me to get older and more mature when I realized, okay, you can't just be out here throwing hands like that because somebody gonna shoot you. Um, and then I had to find different ways to deal with conflict. I realized I don't like conflict. I just I avoided things, the hard conversations, even conversations that really didn't have to be as hard as I imagined them to be. I avoided them. I don't know why.
So when you said that, I'm very confrontational. I don't. I will. It takes a lot to get Hazel J to react, not even respond, react to you. It takes a lot for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
In the midst of it, though, I'm hurting myself. And that's how I found myself in abusive situations,
Mm.
in abusive positions, in
Mm.
abusive relationships. I was avoiding because I didn't, but me not wanting confrontation was because I knew how it felt to feel low, to feel little, to feel um not accepted, to feel undermined, to feel any of those things. So I associated all of that with confrontation. And so I
Ah.
said that I never want anyone to feel the way that I felt growing up. I never
Mm.
want anybody to feel that way. So I allowed people to stump on me just so they wouldn't feel the way I felt. If that
Wow. So you were protecting your abusers basically
I was
from what you perceived they would experience just from you
for me
setting
saying what
boundaries.
yes. And so I had to acknowledge that. So when I tell people, when people say, well, I was in an abusive this and abusive that, while I will let them say all that they need to say, but I've been in abuse. You wouldn't know unless I told you I was, but I've been in abusive things, right? And so I say, well, you know what, at the end of the day though, right, wrong, or indifferent, at some point we gave the person permission to do it. At some point, I know that's hard for some people to accept, but there was something that gave us the clue that it was time to exit, but we didn't want to confront it. So we blocked it. We ignored it like the red flag. We
And
made the flag
accepted it.
yellow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
See, I had the bigger challenge with just having healthy and reasonable communication styles, and I it was either I'm going to punch you in the mouth or I don't want to hear it. I didn't have that in between. I did not want to, like, I just didn't want to deal with whatever the thing was. So I just avoided. All right, I already know it's
because
that's
so
what
were
it
you the
is.
person who was like, I'm always right. I'm right. So you're wrong and I'm right. Were you that person?
No, I wasn't that person, but when the other person was, I perceived them to be, even if they were right, but they hurt my feelings or made me feel a certain type of way, but they were strong in their stance and they keep because they want to keep proving their point. You probably want to say that over there. I don't want to hear it. I,
Mm-hmm.
I, I heard you the first 17 times. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just like some of it was a lot of it was corporate. A lot of times I felt like I had to shrink. I had to sit silently. I had to change my posture. How
It was
dare I
kind of
walk
like you
how
you
dare I
want me
walk
to
boldly and proudly into this room where all these big brains and degrees are sitting there, and you know, I I will say the word, I cowered down a lot in corporate America. That's one of the reasons now
you
I tell
dimmed
people
your
I'm
light.
allergic to jobs because I'm not doing that anymore.
But
I'm
see,
not.
this is the thing though. You don't, you never have to dim your light again, and you can go back into corporate America if you wanted to, because
and don't want to.
you're a
But
different,
now, but yes, now I know I have a different. So
because
once I recognized that avoidance, it took me to go to therapy. I literally went to therapy, and it was like, "Well, did you tell them that?" And I was like, "No," but and she was like, "But no, you, you've got to communicate this, you know." So I had to work through that, but I
hmm
didn't recognize it at first. I thought I was just avoiding a fight, and that's
hmm
the end. And it was a little bit deeper. It's like, well, why do you feel there's a healthy way to challenge something that either bothers you, affects you, adversely affects you. You know, there's a healthy way to challenge something, even if you are right or wrong. There's a healthy, respectful way to challenge things, and I had to first, number one, acknowledge that I was doing that, then learn how to commit a healthy challenge. And it just so happened that I had a corporate job that was one of their principles was respectful challenge. Like they stood on that. You can challenge anyone from the first day janitor to the CEO. Anybody can challenge anybody within the framework of their guiding principles. So that having that job, and it's been some years, but having that job helped me to understand the process of challenge. And it doesn't have to be a negative and hostile confrontation. It can be a conversation. It can be a debate. Dare I say a spirited debate. But at the end of the day, as long as everybody's respectful and heard, everybody wins.
And see, for me, I actually I have a friend that's been helping me through
Mm-hmm.
that. So again, while I do this work and I help other people, I still have my own stuff that I'll be
Every
working
coach need a
through, and
coach.
that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this friend who, he's only known me for since October. So what is that? 8 months, 7 months, or
Yeah,
something like
seven
that.
or something.
When I tell you this dude pays attention to everything and breaks me all the way down to
Mm.
where I'm like, he said one day, he said, "Why do you sit in your car? You just sit in your car." And I was getting ready to defend why I did, and I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. I used to go to my car because that was the safest place that I can be when I was in that abusive
Mm.
situation. I said, wait a minute. I'm free. I'm not in that anymore.
But
I
you
have
were
my own
still
house.
going through the
I have
motion.
my, exactly, my behavior wasn't in alignment with my
With
reality.
reality.
And a lot of times
Whew.
we operate in that way, and then we don't, we feel disconnected
Yeah.
from where, or we don't acknowledge or celebrate where we are, because our behavior is lagging behind. And
Yes.
so when he brought that to my attention, I was like, oh, wait a minute, why am I doing that? I don't need to do
I
that.
don't
I'm
have to do
safe.
that anymore.
I'm safe.
Absolutely.
So you asked me to say, Hazel, do you go sit in your car now? Ask me. Just
Hazel,
ask
do
me.
you go sit in your car
I
anymore?
surely do not. As soon as I pull up in my driveway, I let them windows up and I'm out. Quit playing with me. So like,
That,
those type of things matter. Why do we do what we do?
yeah.
Why?
That's that
Understanding our,
residue that I talk about. That residue is so very, very, very important to acknowledge because you can look like it's all good, you're all good, everything is hunky dory, but that little layer of something, whatever your thing is, that's blocking you from being the best version of you is
and
your residue.
and I love that, because guess what? Once you get to the next level, once you get rid of that residue, guess what? You're going to unlock another layer of residue. Every time
Absolutely.
you go to the next level, something's going to be unlocked, and that's the beauty
Yep.
of life. That's God loves us that much that He gives us. If we got it right, y'all, what we need God for? If we got it right, if if we got it right, then what are we working hard for?
Right.
What are we aiming for? What are we trying? What are we doing? If we got it right, there we're never, you're the peace that you have today is not the peace you should have tomorrow. It should be a little bit different. The joy you have
Absolutely.
today should not be the same joy you have tomorrow. It should be a little different. And just in case it goes down, it's okay because it can go up. It can go up, it can go down, but it should never just stay right here. It should not stay right here. It
Absolutely.
should not up or down. It current. What is that? Currents. It's it's the cycle of life, whatever you want to call it. But you should never just be here. When you're here, that's how you get stuck. That's how you get
And
complacent. That's how you
oh
just
my goodness.
accept. That's how you get
Yes.
stuck in grief. That, that's how that happens when
Yes.
you just hear. Don't be scared to go up and don't be scared to go down.
Right. Ebb and flow.
It's okay. It is
And,
okay.
and if you take your cues from nature, everything in nature either evolves or it erodes. Being stagnant is death. You have to evolve. You have to move. You have to grow. That's that action piece we talked about an hour ago. You have to move
You have to. And how you move is not dependent on somebody else.
at
You
all.
don't have to compare your movement.
Nope.
You don't have to do
I
any.
don't care if you were born an identical twin.
You're
You
not
experience a grief, it might not be anything similar to
not
what
even
your
might. It
twin.
won't be.
It
It won't
won't
be.
be.
It
Exactly.
won't be.
So just understand your individuality, your process, your journey. And again, it is a journey. It is
It's a
not a
journey.
destination.
It's
There's
a
no,
journey.
you're not going to wake up one day and like, whoo, I'm glad that grief is over.
Mm-mm.
You're not.
And you don't even gotta name it grief. Like
You
you
don't.
don't gotta
Whatever that
call it
feeling
anything.
is, that
Whatever it is. In
because
that
you might
moment,
be
it
good
is
for
what it is.
7 years, and then one day you
It'll
just
just come
really
on you.
like,
And thank you for saying that because I had to pay attention to this. I was like, every time it comes around this time of the year or this time of the month, right? Something happens to me. I
mm,
realize I was like, okay, around this time I get really sad. I go through like I don't like the word depression. I think people overuse it. They use that as their scapegoat too, like, oh, I'm
they
depressed.
hold on to
And,
that thing.
and,
My
oh,
depression, my depression. Okay,
listen, when you put my in front of anything negative,
you taking
you're
ownership,
claiming
and
that
it's
part
gonna
of your
stay with you
identity.
until you divorce that thing and
You
bury
you
it.
don't
You
don't
better
don't let that
unalive
be
that.
your identity. That's not
Do
your
not.
identity.
That is not.
That's
I
not
don't
it.
say nothing like that.
That you can be sad, you can have feelings of depression, but don't put a my in front of it. Don't own that. You don't want to own it because if you own it, you're going to become it. You don't want to own that. Not own something else, but don't own that.
Not that.
Not that. Now, if you've been diagnosed, that's you still don't have to own it. You do what it
Right.
takes to treat it, right? To heal through it, to work through it, but don't own it because
Hug
once you
yourself
own
in
it,
the sunshine.
go hug yourself in the
Hug
sunshine.
yourself in the sunshine.
So when we when you're getting ready to elevate yourself in wherever position you are in life, you have to take, again, we said action, and it can be 1%, it could be a 0.5%. It doesn't matter what it is, just do something. Just do something. And you're gonna thank your and give and thank yourself for it. I tell my clients all the time, look in the mirror and smile at yourself. I remember God told me when I felt like I was the loneliest, God whispered to me, and I'm gonna say it was God. And when I do it, and my hair is just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I will go like I'll look in the mirror and I'll look at myself and I'll smile. And and what God told me was when I look in the mirror, that's God looking back at me. And when I'm smiling, He's letting me know everything is okay. And so that carried me for 3 years.
Mm.
The last 3 years, it carried me along because I felt so lonely. You know, when you go through things, you begin to see who is here for you and who's not, who's your ride or die and who's not. And
Baby.
And also you get to see yourself, because what I had to do was understand this too. Now a lot of people I did lose along the way. Most people I was getting ready just to wipe them off. I was like, well, I've been there for them, they should be there for me. But what I had to understand is this: while some people I had to let them go, like, you're out. But and I didn't even, they removed themselves because they couldn't no longer benefit from me, so they
Mm,
just automatically pushed themselves away. There
yeah.
was other people who was still around because they was going to figure out a way to benefit from me. Eventually they knew I was going to be okay and they was going to be able to get something from me. So those people I pushed to the side. The ones
Okay.
I cared about, I had to acknowledge the fact that I never told them how to show up for me if I go through something. So like
Mm,
I created these cards, like these questions, right? The questions to ask people that people don't normally ask. Like,
okay.
so like, for example, I would say this is how you show up for me when you see me withdrawing, or I'm not calling as much. This is what I need you to do. I need you to give me my space. Don't take it personal. Just give me my space. And if you don't hear from me within these amount of days, then check on me. Just say, I'm just checking on you. Okay. Anything that you need from me or anything you want me to do for you. Like, that's just an example, right? So being
Yeah.
able, because if you don't do that and you expect somebody to do that and they don't know how to do it, what's going to happen? People just going to, they're not going to do anything. They're going to freeze because they're not going to know how to show. They love you to pieces, but they don't know how to show up for you and they don't want to make a mistake. So they just
Right.
freeze. So I had to acknowledge that. So I had to say, hey, I didn't tell you how to show up for me. It hurt me that you didn't show up for me, but I also got to acknowledge that I didn't give you an opportunity to show it for me because I didn't
Yeah.
tell you and I
Yeah.
didn't show you. So I need to take ownership of this. So moving forward, this is what I need from you. Are you able to do this? Yes or no? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Then, hey, we cool. We got an understanding.
Because they'll draw their own conclusions on what you need and how you need it. I remember I had a really good girlfriend, and I'm talking about we had a like a pinky promise because she didn't have any family in Georgia, and it was like if you don't hear from me like 2 days, three at max, be ready to come over here and do a wellness check because we were that close. But when I went through a major loss and I was grieving so strongly, I didn't notice at the time, but we kind of drifted apart. But she and I met up last year for the first time and since it happened. And she said, I thought you just wanted your space to deal with what you were dealing with. I said, I absolutely did not. I needed my friend. I needed, and but what I thought of her all those years was she did not know how to be there for me. I wasn't bitter, resentful, angry, none of that. I knew she didn't know how to be there for me, but she thought that she was doing what I wanted. So you definitely have to communicate um, with your people. If that relationship matters to you, let them know. Because people who genuinely love you want to be there for you. They want to help you, especially when you're going through something, very traumatic and very serious. They want to show up for you, but if they don't know how, and they've never
They're not
experienced
going to
something
know
like
how.
that. They don't know what it feels like, so they don't really know what a person in that situation might want. The best they can do is figure it out and draw their own conclusion. And it might not be the conclusion that serves you best. So if you don't tell a person, you know what, I might just lay here and cry all day, but can you just sit at the foot of my bed with me? And she was that for, and I'm saying was, but she and I had that relationship that she would have done that. She would have drove all the way across Atlanta traffic
If
and
you
she
would have
would have
told her
been
that.
there.
If
And
you
but I was so broken in that moment that I didn't know how to articulate what I needed.
and that's the other
So
thing, being able to, that, and that's why those conversations is super important to have before you're in it, because you're
mhm.
not
Like me
going
and
to
her had
know.
the pinky promise we had that we should have had a deeper conversation, but never in a million years did I believe that I was going to get that phone call that I got. I
Yeah,
we So we all know that we have that appointment. Every human has an appointment, and none of us knows because we didn't book the appointment ourselves. So have the conversations. Again, goes back to avoidance. My one son, he will not allow me in his presence to have a conversation that talks about my passing. He will not. Stop that, mom. You're going to be here forever. No, actually, I'm not. But he doesn't want to have the conversation. We got to. So, I tend to talk more with my oldest son because I know he don't bar nobody. He going to do whatever I want. That's going to be that. Get mad if you want to. But my mom said. So,
Mhm.
but have those conversations. Because we do have to get back to a place where we can, even in our sadness, we can rejoice, because if we dwell in that dark place, baby, there is no exit sign. There is no trap door. You can be there and can't. It's like the fun house. You can't find your way out sometimes.
and
So
and 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 the only way you're not going to be able to find your way out is if you're doing it by yourself.
by yourself.
If
Yeah.
you're not, and by yourself means you don't either have God or you don't have a person, because the person can help you find God if you don't got God up in there right then and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and that's part of what I do. I teach people how to glow in the dark so they can illuminate in the light, right?
Okay.
How do you do that? How do
Hey,
you
Sharon
glow in
Clinks
the
down.
dark?
So can you? Now it's girl. It's 9 o'clock. We are in
Ooh,
it. Can vibe with Cheryl.
this
I hope
past my bedtime,
it,
honey.
me too. Listen, I've been up since 5 o'clock. In closing, can you give a snippet of how one can get to glowing in the dark?
It really does go for it really does go back to being able to acknowledge, accept, and move through. And in that you are leaning in on God. But if you don't have a relationship with God, lean in on somebody that can be that for you. It's knowing that you're not isolated. So helping you understand that you're not isolated. This is not uh only to you. There's other people too. A lot of times folks feel like it's nobody else is going through it but them. Nobody understands. Nobody gets it. Nobody nobody cares. We tell ourselves those things and it makes it darker and darker and darker and darker. But if you you know what? This sucks. I don't like it. It hurts, but I'm not the only one who's went through it,
Right.
right? Now it doesn't seem so dark, right?
Mm-hmm. You
Oh,
don't
wait a
feel so
minute.
alone.
You don't feel so alone. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute. I went through something similar to this before and I came out. Oh, wait. It's not as dark as it was before,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um it's doing that. It's helping people really get to the place of understanding that God, he put in us, and I keep using God because that's just how that's where I am with it. God, he we when we say we trust God, that's really deep because trusting God means trusting ourselves. God, we trust God. God entrusted us with the gifts, the talents, the wherewithal, the characteristics to be able to make it through whatever we go through in life. Do we trust ourselves enough to know that we have it within ourselves to come out of it? Trust. It's not just saying, I trust God, it's trusting that God entrusted us with everything that we need to be able to come out the darkness, right?
Yes.
And and walk out of it with a glowing spirit to be able to take us to the next level in our life. I remember a pastor said, we're either going, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before. If not, you're about to hear it now. We're either going through it, we're in it, or we're coming out of it, right? We don't know how long that season is,
That's the
but
second time
those
today
things,
somebody said that to in my presence.
oh really? But those
Second
things
time.
are happening. You're either going into it, in it, or coming out of it. You don't know the length of the season, but it's
Right.
going to happen. It's
Right.
going to happen. Brace yourself, appreciate, have gratitude, name it for what it is, move through it. You got it. God has really gifted us. He's gifted us with so much. People say, "Oh, if I just do this, if I had this, if I tell people all the time, everything that we want in this world, in this life that's for us is for us. The issue is that we have fog, we have bandages, we have blocks,
Mhm.
we have all these things, and that's your hurt, that's your pain, that's unresolved hurt, unresolved pain, unresolved trauma, unresolved grief. That's unresolved stuff that's blocking your access to what God has already promised you.
That's
It may
right.
look like it's dark. It may feel like it's dark, right? But if you just trust
Just
that
trust.
God has equipped you. He's equipped you. He's equipped me. He's equipped you. He's equipped us. We just got to trust in ourselves that God, when we say we trust God, that's what that means. Because I don't want people to get confused. I'm saying no, I'm not saying you. I'm saying what God has put in you is what you're trusting. And that's what you pull up out of you. You spew it out so you
Yeah.
can see it and you can do something with it, right?
Oh
that
man.
that's and that's a process, so it looks different. So when you ask me that question, I couldn't give you a straightforward answer because it looks different for different people. It
Mhm.
depends on how God tells me to help them understand how they can glow in their darkness. It looks different for everybody because nobody's light and nobody's darkness is the same. There's
Right.
light and dark. Yes, that's true, but there's levels to it,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so being able to just acknowledge that you need some support. You cannot do it alone. Don't isolate yourself. That's one of the biggest things the enemy does is isolate us, make us feel
That's
like it's
right.
just we all we got is
We're
us.
alone.
We're alone. If that was the case, God wouldn't have created all this stuff, all these people, all these things, all this, everything that's here. You're not alone. Don't allow yourself to believe you're alone. Somebody loves you. And if you don't think nobody love you, guess who love you? Us two right here. We love you. We love you.
Yes.
Don't even know you and we
I
love you.
I end every night with "I love you," and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's what my papa say all the time at church. I love you and ain't nothing you could do about it. Nothing.
That's
Nothing
right.
at all. Nothing
That's
at all. I love it.
yes. Oh my goodness. Listen, this has been incredible. I am so excited and honored that you have joined me. I knew this was going to be amazing.
Mhm.
Another night in the books. Tell people where they can find you, follow you, and support you. Cause I want y'all to, I told you, fill that calendar up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, if you're on social media, you can find me under iGlow Consulting, IGLOW Consulting. That's on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn as Glowologist. You can find me on TikTok under Soul Glow. No, Sister Soul Glow. I love that name. But you can definitely go to my website, hazeljay.com, HAZELJAY.com. You can also go to my calendar. That's the best place to and just get a free consultation. I do a lot of that. So if you just need a listening ear, just holler at me. I'll give you my business number too. It's 770-273. 9073. 770 273-9073. And then again, my website is hazeljay.com, HAZELJAY.com. I you can even DM me. I look forward to being able to support and show up in any capacity that God allows me to for you in your life. I'm so grateful, all of you that have joined, all of you that are going to watch the replay. Um, just grateful for your presence, right? I truly believe that and stand on this Asante proverb: I am because you are because I am. And what that basically means to me is that I cannot be the greatest, the best part of me, or you, yeah, I cannot be the best part of me if I'm not able to help you become the best part of you. You
Mm.
cannot become the best, you cannot be the best part of you if if you're not able to help me become. So basically we all need each other.
We all need each
It's a
other.
domino effect. I am my greatest self because you are your greatest self,
That's good
right?
stuff.
That means a lot to me. I am so valuable. This, I truly believe this, even in my lowest moments. I am so valuable that if I drop the ball, I believe that I'm going to be the have an impact on someone else dropping the ball. And I
Mm.
don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that and again, I fall short. Trust me, I do. I
Mm.
definitely do.
We all
But I,
do.
I, I, I try my very best to make sure that I show up in the best way that possible, the way that God wants me to show up. And it's difficult sometimes, but I push and I push and I push, right?
Mhm.
And I'm saying that to say, in the midst of when you do that for other people, you still, and we said this earlier, you still have to do the self-care though for
For
yourself.
you.
So
Yeah.
you cannot be valuable in the way that you believe you are until you become valuable to yourself. You're not
Amen.
able to love somebody. You're not going to receive the love that you truly want until you can truly love
Love
yourself.
yourself.
You're not going to have the friendship that you truly want until you know how to be a friend to yourself, right? You're
Yeah.
not going to have that relationship that you truly want until you learn how to have a relationship with yourself, right? You it starts with you every single time. You
Yeah.
can't run from you. That's what I've
You
been telling folks. You can do all you want to do,
you done
but at the
relocated
end of
across
the day,
country. Dang it, you took yourself.
you
Is
cannot run from you. So you might as well deal
yeah,
with you, baby.
deal with
You might as
you.
well figure it out.
Face it. If
Might
you
as
don't
well.
face it, you cannot fix it. I say it every day.
I love it. I love how we on one accord, like, because we didn't rehearse this. I didn't know the
Nothing.
stuff that you said. Oh, I say this and I do this, and I've heard. Like, I ain't even know none of that. Right?
Yeah.
That's God, yo.
Nothing but God. Yeah.
Nothing but God. I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you so much again. I so appreciate you.
Thank
Bubbles,
you.
blow them bubbles, baby. Blow them bubbles.
You don't
Yes,
have to threaten me with a good time.
blow them
Oh, well,
bubbles.
come on, Bubbles. Don't flake on me now.
Come on, bubbles. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I
Y'all,
love it.
we're gonna close out. I am tired. She's tired, and it is 2 hours plus. The Bubbles is even tired.
This says stop bubbling, baby.
The Bubbles not bubbling. I need another bottle.
Oh
But
man.
thank you all for joining. Thank you, Dr. Hazel Jay, for tuning
Thank
in, for
you.
dropping nuggets, for flowing in your gift.
Thank you.
As always, I tell you, you matter. You are important. You are loved. Don't ever give up. You never lose unless you give up, okay? And I love you.
And it's
Nothing you can
nothing
do
you
about
can
it.
do about it, baby.
Bye.